we all went to Super Nintendo World, right? Not all at the same time, I think, but Brandon Gerardo and I went, and then unfortunately, Teresa, you weren't able to make it that time around. But then you later went with your sister, just to kind of understand like the basic idea of it. It's almost like one big video game or just game theme park, because not all of it is video game.
It is an entire level that you do, like from start to finish. This is like how I kind of got through it. You
Well,
collect the
yeah,
coins that you would typically do in like a level, like the golden coins, and it unlocks like a door. And I, it's gonna sound bad in a way, but like I love the way that it excludes me if I'm not good or if I didn't put the time in. There's
right,
there's mini games throughout the park that you have to do if you want to do the final mini game and the final, like the quote unquote boss fight with Bowser Jr. You have to do the other things first. Otherwise you
right.
can't do it. And I actually love it. It even though it's an amusement park and yeah, I get it. It's not necessarily like a world you jump into, but it tries pretty hard to make it feel like it.
No, it's super
And
cool. It was
I
like a
think it
game in and of
succeeds.
itself with its own story and everything.
Yep, it's right when you walk in. It's like, oh my gosh, Bowser Jr. took this. Quick, we gotta go get that back. Took this thing. And walking through the warp pipe to go into Peach's castle to look to my left and see Bob-omb Battlefield gave me the giddiest feeling. I've been waiting for this since I was 4 years old, guys. Since my consciousness came alive, it's been ingrained into my mind that Nintendo could make a really good amusement park. and,
And
and
then they did.
and then they did. It only took 24 years, but they did.
Yeah.
Brad's been stomping Koopas since he was in the womb.
I don't know what Koopas is, and I don't know what you
Koopas.
combined from.
Koopas.
I thought
Koopas.
Koopa
I
shells.
thought, I thought you said Koopas, and I'm like, what did you combine to
Koopa
make
and
Koopas?
Goomkas.
Goomkas.
Yeah,
Oompa
like you
Loompas.
said, it touching on that, I've been wanting this forever type thing.
Mhm.
It was okay. So for those who I guess don't know, it's part of Universal Studios Hollywood, and it just does such a great job of uh immersing you in sort of this Mario-esque type world. And it everything from just the atmosphere, the music, and the way it looks, it made me really emotional. Just standing there, but you couldn't stand for long because there's too many people there.
That is true.
And I tried to just take in everything that I could while I was there, because it's one of those once in a lifetime type things that you couldn't see happening, but actually was happening, and I want to go back sometime really soon.
It actually lived up very well to what I imagined it would be, and,
Yeah.
and understanding that it is not a full-fledged park. It is more on the lines of like if you were to go to Universal and you go to the Harry Potter land, like if you go to Hogwarts, it's very similar to that. And for years I praised Universal for doing a very good job at making Hogwarts. They it did the same thing. It really captured the feel. It's almost as though that place makes movies or something, because
Yeah.
it was very very movie esque.
It's almost like they're working
even,
on Mario movies in particular.
Yeah.
even the bathroom was themed. I don't know if you went to the bathroom. But,
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. It was cheap.
Underwater
It was.
themed.
It was underwater.
even the
It was
music
great.
changed. Even the music changed too.
Yeah.
I was like, the music just did everything for me in that experience. It was great.
Nothing gave me more joy than standing in the lines, because they
Yeah.
made the lines like its own, like you're discovering subparts of a level in a Mario
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, me and my sister were standing in line for Mario Kart, and I'm like, it's like Yoshi's Island.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's really weird because when you think about it, I'm like, we're gonna play Mario Kart. Yoshi's Island had nothing to do with that ride, but for some reason they're just like, oh, we're gonna throw in Yoshi's Island in here, and it's gonna be a treat going through this entire line and seeing Yoshi's Island, Bowser's Castle. Like it was fun. They, for the amount of area that the park encapsulates, it does a really good job at making you go around and collect things. and discover things in little areas about the park. And we haven't even gotten to the app in the wristwatch, or I call it a watch is the band, but it, that it made it so that it made mini games at the park that you physically do, but it's tied to your app so that you can go collect stamps and achievements. And there's little nuances in the park that you can go collect more items from using the band, like, hitting blocks or discovering all the little 8-bit sprites, or, the various things that I'm sure Hunter really, really likes that they included. Not everything's Mario.
Well, it's basically just Mario.
It's basically Mario, but not everything.
I'm assuming you guys got the power up things.
Yeah.
The bands.
Yeah.
Right.
I unfortunately had to skip on that, but
well, we'll have to show it to you next time, because it is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very fun.
There was a point in the time I was there where we were standing by the bathrooms just waiting for my sister to come out, and there were these kids just hitting the blocks next to the bathroom. I'm like, man, if I worked here, that sound effect would get old pretty fast.
It was a little annoying with some of the kids, and they just would not let up. But that's kind of what it's there for.
And talking about things that people like really get annoyed with if you work at a certain area, I know Gerardo mentioned the music. Some of the music is actually based on a specific game, like a specific area of a specific game that is a theme park.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun little Easter egg that one of the songs that they kept playing in the area was the theme park song from Super Mario Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's that's very nice. That's cool. I like that.
That played in the cafe.
It did play in the cafe. I heard it in the main area too, I believe.
Yeah. They did. That's when you first noticed it. I thought it was super cool. And when you were mentioning just like as you're going through the lines, you're able to kind of discover different things. Even just noticing, like, at one point we were in line for the food or something like that, and then I noticed actually right away when we first entered the park, there's Pikmin like carrying one of the little golden coins for Mario. And then while we were in line for the cafe, I noticed even more Pikmin. I think there was only those two statues of like those two Pikmin, and one of them was actually was buried. There was a buried, I think it was a yellow Pikmin.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's super cool. And out of all of the Mario things that were at that park, the one non-Mario thing that they added was Pikmin. Of all the Nintendo franchises,
and it's
there wasn't any
Hunter's
rupees.
favorites.
I think there would be cool if there was like rupees or something like that, but no, Pikmin.
Miyamoto loves Pikmin.
Yeah.
So
you just gotta wait. Nintendo will probably make their own theme park from scratch at some point.
If they can get to that Disney level, which I'd rather Nintendo be on top next to Disney than Disney, but I'm a little biased that way. There was also some added information that I got recently in terms of they're planning on bringing Nintendo World to Orlando, Universal Orlando, but they're not just stopping there. They are also making another Yoshi's Ride there, as well as a DK zone. So expanding that to include a Donkey Kong Country.
Each of the parks are going to have their own separate thing. Like I know the one in Japan doesn't have the Super Mario Kart ride. They have a different thing. And we get the Super Mario Kart ride in Hollywood. And then Orlando is going to have their own thing too. So you can go to each of the different parks and have roughly the same experience where you're kind of more gamey, tackling these like small tasks to build towards the larger story and defeat the boss at the end. But there's these other small, not rides, video game type things, additions for each area as well.
Mm-hmm. I just hope that they build that up to an actual Nintendo zone world. And my thought would be like we would have all the major heavy hitters have a little zone in and of themselves, just cover it in their own little sub theme park.
I would love to go to Hyrule Kingdom.
The way that I was thinking about it is like like you can have Bowser and have Bowser's Castle, but Bowser's Castle would essentially be a barbecue eatery where everything's like flame broiled and whatnot. And then like there'll be another kind of like what's the game on the Wii U? You know, the one console no one played.
Nintendo Land?
Yeah, like Nintendo Land, where like
It
was not free.
Oh,
You
it was free
got
for
the
me. I
game.
got ordered the Zelda edition used. Or
It
not used,
eventually became
refurbished.
It eventually became free.
Gotcha.
But it didn't start off. I was the sucker that bought in when it was not free. Mainly because there wasn't a lot of games sold on that console. But no, or opened with that console, but either way. But when I thought of a Nintendo Land, I was kind of thinking it could be like that. So I envisioned maybe one day it could be like Bowser's Castle is going to be an eatery. There's going to be a ride based off Metroid. It's all going to be in the Mushroom Kingdom, but there's going to be the little worlds that represented from each game, all kind of within the Mushroom Kingdom, spattered out.
Yeah, that's not quite what this is, but hopefully
No,
maybe
it's not,
something
but-
in the future.
But I am an optimist when it comes to these things. I want it to happen.
Yeah, there was just a couple of notes that I wanted to talk about things that I
Mhm.
observed. So I don't know if any of you got the chance to see the wet floor sign in
They're
at all?
bananas.
They're
Yes.
bananas.
Oh, it was
yes,
raining when
they
we
are
were there.
bananas.
They
Yeah.
were bananas.
Like
Um,
it was cool.
Yeah.
It had Mario Kart in there, so of course there'd have to be bananas.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say touch on the music in the different places, but we already did that. In the cafe, it was kind of like the first time seeing Toad speak full sentences aside from Mario
yeah.
Sunshine.
That I'm
was
not gonna
funny.
lie, that it was funny. I liked it up until like it kind of got annoying after a little while. I'm like, I understand now why they did change of voice acting for the movie. Like I
Sure.
could not stand 30 minutes of that.
We got to try a few of the food from the cafe too. I don't know what your
Yeah.
experience was.
Yeah. I actually did get to eat there for a bit. We made reservations and stuff. It was actually quite simple for us that whole time. The whole experience there was very smooth for me. I don't know about you guys, but
It wasn't smooth. It was so we tried twice. So the second
Yeah.
time we were able to do it, it was still long and for whatever reason was kind of cumbersome to like get our seats and whatnot. But like they did you queued up to get into the line.
yeah.
There was a queue for the line, which led
Mhm.
to a line where you order food. And then after you order your food and you have your food and drinks, you wait in a line to get a table. So there's like 4 lines. And there's a queue
Yeah,
for
it-
the first one.
And
Yeah.
it was quite cumbersome. And by the time we actually sat down, I already drank all my drink. So
yeah.
we sat there and I don't think all of us had our food even. We just brought our trays. So it took a
Yeah.
while for the food to show up. And I mean, fair enough. It's not exactly a restaurant. It's, a theme park restaurant. It's not going to run quite the same, but we did have a nice, the guy that waited on us, he did play along with his role and that was kind of fun.
Right.
Yeah.
He like walked up. He's like, "Oh, my boss, either Toad or Peach or whoever he was referencing."
It's Toad.
And then, the head Toad chef or something, Chef
Toad.
And then gave a comment to Hunter because he
'Cause I
had
had the
the
wristband
Toad
from
watch.
Toad.
Yeah, Toad Gang represent. But and I like that sort of thing. It's a little different, I guess, with like a table full of 20-year-olds, but I can imagine that with like the 5 and 10-year-olds, where I would have appreciated that as a kid.
Oh,
Would've-
I appreciated it as a 28-year-old.
Yeah, I really liked it too, personally.
I mean, I liked it too, but I'm thinking that it would have rang harder if I was like 10 and like that experience happened to me when I was 10.
Yeah, this whole going there, the whole experience, just like, and for the first time in a long time, I was like super happy to just be aware, conscious of stuff. And my experience in the cafe restaurant thing, it only took a while ordering the food. Was like my main complaint, like waiting in the toad area and then going past that and like actually placing the order kind of took like maybe 25 minutes in total.
Yeah, it was like 45 minutes for us.
And
that was once we got inside, it was even worse.
Oh
before.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we placed the order and then we walked over to the side and they took the tray from us and they kind of just sat us somewhere, like just out of nowhere, out of random. So I guess we were lucky in the fact that we were seated right away, and all we had to do was wait for the food to show up. And what did you guys get? What did we all eat?
So we had eyes bigger than our stomachs.
Sure.
At least with the desserts.
So So we didn't coordinate very well. So we got 2 of the block desserts. So like the leading up to the flagpole.
Mm-hmm.
We also had the tiramisu. That one was actually pretty good. The block one was a little too rich. It was actually quite a lot. You probably could have shared that with 2 or 3 people, and that would have been fine.
I liked it because it had matcha at the top, so it was more like a semi-sweet. But as soon as you get past that, it's just too sweet.
I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, I know you did. I think I kind of shared it with you, and I didn't really have too much, but you had the rest. I'll vouch that I think the best thing that I ate there, and we didn't have everything, but the best thing that I ate was the Luigi sandwich, the pesto,
It was
pesto
really good.
sandwich.
I got the Luigi sandwich too.
Yeah,
but we
me
also
too.
tried the Fireflower spaghetti and meatballs. I think your fiance got that.
Yeah, so yeah, she got the Fireflower, which that in the picture you see a little Fireflower chip. That is entirely Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, sure.
I
took a bite.
I did not know that was Parmesan cheese when I took my bite. That was actually quite
upsetting,
revolting.
See, it wasn't bad to me, but it was pretty intense.
It's okay. So in a similar vein, I've mistaken hummus for applesauce. It's not that hummus is bad. I just had a different expectation about going in.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like a chip. So when I got nothing but cheesy goodness, it hit a little different.
It wasn't quite the goodness part.
It wasn't quite the goodness because it slapped me.
Yeah.
It's a very sharp cheese.
I got the Mario burger and my sister got the spaghetti. The Mario burger, it was actually really good. It came with bacon and mushrooms, lettuce, tomato. I kind of forgot that there was mushrooms on it. I'm not the biggest fan of mushrooms, but I was already eating it.
We should have gone to the Mushroom Kingdom.
I know, right? It was fine. It was good. It was my barometer, I guess you could say, for theme park food. It was pretty better than most, but I've been hearing mixed opinions about the food from
I've heard that
different
about the
sources.
Mario burger. The Mario burger isn't quite as good, but then the Luigi burger people seem to have really high opinions of. It seems to depend on the specific, like what you get from it, it seems.
The burger itself was kind of a bit overdone, but the thing that saved it for me was like it just tasted good, even if it was overdone. And the fries were absolute bangers.
So
yeah,
I'm imagining the fries are the same with the Luigi fries. It was like the garlic fries.
Yeah,
it's the truffle
truffle
Yeah.
fries.
because mushrooms, so truffles.
Yeah, that's cool. Those fries were really good.
Yeah, they were so
I
good.
did really like those fries.
Did you guys get to try, because we got the my girlfriend and I got the cheesy garlic knots. Did you guys get to try those? Did we give you guys any, or did we just keep them for ourselves?
I think I had like a piece. I remember eating the tomato soup and I think I had a bite of the mushroom soup.
Yeah, she got the mushroom soup, which is surprisingly really good actually, and then we also got the garlic knots, and the garlic knots were so good.
I got also the peach cupcake. It was pretty good, but probably really sweet to other people. If you're sensitive to things just being sweet. It was, you know what funfetti is, right? That type of like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that. It tasted like a birthday cake too. Um, it was good. Me and my sister shared it, so it wasn't too overwhelming. Um,
That's good. We had way too much dessert. I
Did
was
you-
very overwhelmed.
Did you try the Superstar lemon squash, the beverage?
no. Although
That-
I did try one of the sodas outside of the cafe.
Mhm.
Oh, which one?
The peach soda.
Oh,
Mm.
good for you.
It was
Okay,
so
so-
good.
So I had the Luigi one, and for some reason they thought applesauce was a good topping, and
Mm.
I did. Looking at it, I'm like, I don't understand why the applesauce is a thing. Like it was kind of gross.
Uh,
I went all Luigi when going there, but that one wasn't it.
yeah, it was. I love the peach soda. I thoroughly enjoyed all of the food that I had there.
And that's actually saying a lot because normally amusement park food, like depending on where you go, it's over expensive or it's too expensive, and generally it's like okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like blow your socks off type good, like the best thing I've ever had, but it's
The
like
Luigi burger was.
Where
it
We are-
it overperforms for theme park food, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
we're comparing it to
Definitely.
theme park. Theme park food is the average we're talking about here.
Yeah,
It made that price tag slightly better.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Slightly more
yeah.
worth it.
It you know, yeah.
Speaking of price tags, did anybody see the price of those popcorn buckets?
Oh my god! And I'm gonna buy one next time I go. It is ridiculous. Popcorn is some of the most cheapest things you can get on the planet. But yet, when you get a Starman and say fill this with some of the cheapest substance on the planet, I will happily pay $40 for that Starman.
And if you want the Mario, it's 42.
Oh god! Is that the Mario Kart?
Yeah, they put the
Yo.
popcorn in the engine.
Yeah, and
It's
that
even-
one had like a lot less space for the popcorn too. It looked like.
Mhm.
So you get even less popcorn.
I got the 1-Up beverage, and I'm gonna go back for the next time, and I'm gonna get the super mushroom beverage too, just because I want to have matching sets at my house.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use it as like a decorative, or like when people are over and we're having like a party, you can use it as kind of like a, not necessarily a mixer, but like to house some drinks and whatnot.
That'd be fun.
It's kind of like if you want a themed like get together. There's a lot
Have
of
a
cool
Mario
stuff.
night.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff over there that's overpriced as all hell. But if you make it worth it, you can make that $20 to $40 go a long way.
Yeah, speaking of shopping, did any of you get any like from the gift shops? Anything from gift shops?
So did I get anything?
I got some of the candy, which came in a question mark block, which I thought that was pretty fun. But other than that, I didn't get anything from Super Nintendo World.
No, I think on my next go ahead, I was gonna go get more things.
Yeah.
The shirts. I actually didn't really like the shirts all too much. I liked more like the there were like stamps and like badges and like magnets
Mhm.
that I actually thought were pretty cool, and a lot of them were like Mario Kart inspired. So
Yeah.
when I go back, I think I'm gonna go get one of those.
So we ended up going to all of the gift shops in Universal just to be sure, because all of them sold the same Mario stuff, no matter which one
Yeah.
you went to.
Yeah.
Even at City Walk too, same stuff.
Yeah, I walked in there for a bit.
And I got 2 shirts, but one of them so I bought them both in my size, and they're both the same size shirts. One of them fits so poorly. I just want to know what happened.
Hmm.
And the other one fits perfectly, so I have no clue. And my sister got one of those headbands. It was Luigi that you probably saw.
Is it the one where he's just laying on your head?
Yeah, it kind of looks like he's doing like the Smash Brothers render of him, where he's like leaning forward.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
It kinda looks
actually
like
did
that.
want to get. I did want to get one of those. It was funny watching people walk around with those.
Mm-hmm. And they have things like Brad was saying, like keychains, plushes, stuff like that. Not a single Peach plush.
Really?
Huh?
Oh, I had to relook at that because plenty of Mario and Luigi's.
Yeah, they had Mario, Luigi, Toad, Yoshi, Bowser, no Peach.
Which is weird because
yeah.
they have the band. So the bands are Mario, Luigi, Toad, Yoshi, Peach, and Daisy. Those were the ones that they highlighted for the bands. So I would, and also surprisingly no Bowser, but I guess that makes sense if you wanted to be the heroes in the park.
Yeah, the idea is that you're defeating Bowser in the Mario Kart ride.
Yeah, speaking
I
of
would love-
defeating
I
Bowser
would
in the
love
Mario
to.
Kart ride, what was your experience with that?
Okay, so that was actually really cool. I don't really like augmented reality generally speaking because I think the 3DS kind of killed it for me. But
You say
they
to
did
an
it-
AR engineer.
yeah, sorry, Hunter. But it was Nintendo's fault with the 3DS. But I actually really liked the Bowser ride. Mostly because I liked how it blended the actual ride that you are going around in. So you're seeing all these things, but the AR itself was its own minigame that you had to accomplish while on the ride.
Mhm.
And I would say in like a better fashion than the Buzz Lightyear ride at
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Yeah, that's how
Think of
I
it like
was-
that, but a little better, at least in my opinion.
So something that I try to connect it to was not only the Buzz ride, but also at California Adventure, there's Toy Story Midway Mania, and that's a 3D game.
Mm-hmm.
And it works significantly better than both of those rides, I think, at least.
It was
Huh?
It was a full-fledged game.
Yeah, it was actually pretty sick. That was the first thing we did when we got to Super Mario World or Nintendo World. And right as soon as we were gonna get on, they were like, "Sorry, folks, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. I guess we'll just stand here for 15 minutes." Like we were literally about to get on, and something happened. So
Oh no.
that was not cool, but we got through it.
Yeah.
And they had to, like, I don't know, it was weird because they had to get everybody off the ride before they sent more out. So I wonder what happened.
So that actually happened to us, but on our second attempt to go on it. We only went on it once, but we tried going on it again. But something happened, and they had to basically kick everybody out the line because it was like, this is going to take forever. So go figure something else out. We'll call you back. But that meant that there was no one in the line. So we had a really good time going around getting pictures of the whole set without people in the line.
mhm.
So that was a fun experience in and of itself.
Yeah, man, just even the slightest inconvenience like that, it's still pretty cool to experience the area around you. And back to the ride itself, for those uninitiated, yet to go yet, it's an augmented reality ride, like Brad said. They put you in it's a Mario Kart itself. It's 4 people to a car. They give you this like visor on top of another visor.
That was a weird way of entering the ride, I will say.
Yeah.
There was a learning curve to putting that on. I
Mhm.
got confused for a second.
Yeah, it was like grabbing 3D glasses at a movie theater, but like 10 times more complicated, I guess.
Yeah. And then when you put the visor on, you look down at the steering wheel and you see coins and shells. And your goal is to collect 100 coins during the ride and throw red shells at the Koopalings and Bowser. Did you guys win?
I won, and then my fiance got most coins on our like car rides. So it was much to my dismay.
So me and my sister managed to overscore the 100 point threshold, but the people behind us did not. So we didn't win. Behind us had like 30 or 40 by the end of it all. Yeah, so I don't understand the whole scoring system of it because me and my sister, we both scored over 100 coins, which was the goal to win. But the people behind us had a combination of like maybe 30 together coins. So,
Oh, that's what happens when you don't share with gamers.
yeah.
Honestly, that's a pretty abysmal score.
Yeah, I don't think they fully
Yeah.
understood what was going on. It was fun. I wish I could have paid attention more to like the ride itself, but it kind of went through a whole Mario Kart Cup in a span of like 90 seconds.
Yeah.
It was really cool. Took a couple pictures of the because even like in the line it references the whole thing is a whole Mario Kart reference. So all of the like the sponsors from Mario Kart 8 are there. And you know like the course selection menus, how it has like whatever cup it is and it has like a symbol or whatever, you know. It's the Universal Cup. And it's like I was like, oh, okay, that's the last Mario Kart DLC. It's the Universal DLC.
That would be so cool. I honestly, I also think that just the name of that kind of cup even makes sense in the Mario universe.
Yeah,
Just the Universal Cup. That just sounds good.
it was so.
And
cool.
even aside from that, there was a bunch of like some of the books in like Bowser's study or something like that. It was like one was like the Saga of the Mushroom Kingdom. I took pictures of all these. The Double Dash Years was one of the
Mhm.
book's names, which I thought was really funny. There was one that was Deja Vu. But then there was like a tell-all type book for Shy Guy. That was like Shy Guy Behind the Mask.
It was fantastic, and I loved each and every single one of them.
Yeah, one of the ones that I really liked was there was just one that was just called Inside Story.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
It was in Bowser's study.
There is also Yoshi's Story too.
Yeah.
Man, this place
We had
is great.
we had a good time looking
Yeah.
through all that.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is probably one of the only rides I would ever want to wait in the line for because for me, we got there super early. We got in an hour before the park actually opened, and we were just able to basically run straight through the line and get on, except for that
Mhm.
breakdown that happened. So I didn't really get to pay attention to the queue much. But you know,
We had-
you walk through Yoshi's Island and then you go to Bowser's Castle and you kind of like see his like schematic room and like building of bombs and the bullet bills and stuff like that and the what are those Mecha Koopas? Yeah, Mecha Koopas. And it's cool to sing inside of Bowser's place of residence, I suppose.
They just did a really good job at capturing like a Mario world.